Okay guys, so in order to set up Respondus Lockdown, you're going to first make sure that your tests are deployed somewhere in your content. And then you're going to go down under Course Management, you're going to go to Course Tools. You will scroll down to Respondus Lockdown Browser. You can watch this if you want, or there's other video tutorials, stuff like that, and resources if you want to get some more information. But you'll essentially just go to Continue to Lockdown Browser, and then it's going to give you a list of all of your tests that have been deployed. You can see I've required Lockdown Browser and Monitor for a couple of them. So let's do it for this one. So all you're going to do is click the little arrow and hit Settings. And it's going to say first that you need to require Lockdown Browser. You don't need to worry about settings or anything like that, password settings. Then you're going to go down here to require Respondus Monitor, and then just hit Continue. You can always live chat with somebody too if you have any questions. And then it's going to give you a startup sequence. So the startup sequence is what the students are going to see or going to have to do prior to starting the test. So by default, the webcam check is going to be there. So you can preview and see what it says. Actually, it'll scratch that. You don't want to hit that preview button yet. The additional instructions, you can preview and see what those are. So it says during this exam you shouldn't access other resources. So this is just by default what it says, but you can close that out and you can see where it says edit text. You can edit to say whatever you want here. So whatever you want the students to know, you would just type here and then just hit save and close. Okay. Guidelines and tips, those are something that you can just keep. I would recommend you keep there just so they kind of get an idea of what they need for the test, or what kind of best practices, I guess you would say. So you can see those. Student photo, this is basically if you want to require this it to take, what it will do is it'll take a snapshot of the student's face. So you can leave that or you can uncheck it if you don't want it. I don't really know that this is necessary too much, but it's up to you. You also have the option of showing a student ID. So what it would do, you could edit the text and it says hold your ID to the camera, select take a picture. So you could tell it to do whatever you would want, or you don't have to require that at all. I would recommend an environment check. Basically this will walk them through and tell them to hit start recording, make sure that all their computers are clear, there's no papers. It's going to have them slowly tilt and pan their camera. So it's going to walk them through what they need to do to check their environment to make sure there's nothing there for them to cheat with. The facial detection is also by default always left on, so you don't need to do anything with that. So this is where you would kind of personalize it to whatever you would want. Like I said, my recommendations would be to edit your additional instructions. I mean, as you see fit, keep the guidelines, do the environment check. As far as the student photo and the student ID, that's completely up to you guys. And then the facial detection option, so prevent students from starting the exam and face cannot be detected during a startup sequence. You'll want to keep that. Notify students during the exam if their face cannot be detected. You'll want to keep that, because what will happen is if they go off screen and somebody else comes back on, or if their face goes completely off screen, it's going to notify them and it's going to be like, you need to get back onto the screen. Pretty much it. You webcams and the advanced settings you really shouldn't have to worry about too much. Then you would just hit save and close, and that's going to require the students then to have Respondus Lockdown Browser and Monitor for your test.